Welcome to SDH's coverage of the Premier League, and it's another round of Prem and Proper as folks are chasing after their 10th match weeks on the year. Some folks still are only 9 matches into their 38-game schedule, and we will go backward and we will go forward and let you know what's going on, because this week is a very, very crowded week. It is weekend-midweek weekend, and we will get into all of that as we go. So wasting no time, let's work our way backward and get into the results from the last 7 days. And starting off in the midweek, back on the 14th, Brentford a 2-0 win over Brighton at a plus 225. Also leading into the weekend, it was on Saturday, your early game, Leicester and Crystal Palace, goalless draw. And that was a plus 248. Leicester was a home favorite at a plus 140. Brendan Rodgers was asked in and around the match about all of the thoughts, even coming from the fans, that he should be sacked, courtesy of Leicester City, their own selves in the Premier League.
You're always going to be under criticism. I understand that. If you're towards the bottom of the league, then, you're going to have critics. But I had critics here when we won the FA Cup, and we were 5th. So It's the game. It's the nature of it.
There was a group of fans holding up a banner at the end asking the board to take action. I just wondered if you had a direct message for them.
Not really. No, I think it's when I came in here, it was to take the team up the league and try and disrupt the top teams. And for the few years we've been able to do that. And then we haven't been able to strengthen in the summer. So naturally, if you can't strengthen and other teams do, then you're going to get overtaken. But I respect here that we were unable to do anything in the summer, and clearly if there's anything that will come anyone's way of anger or be able to vent, it will be to me, because it can't be to the owners.
10 o'clock matches, there were 2 of them on Saturday. Wolves and Nottingham Forest was one of them. Wolves got the win 1-0. Steve Cooper on the loss, not happy.
Second half, a little bit of a continuation on that. I haven't seen the penalty back, but I think the referee, less said about the referee's performance today, the better. I'm pretty sure there would have been a different decision if it was at the other end. And then it's taken that really to kick us into gear a little bit with the ball. And, we did get a bit of territory then. We did get some players in better positions, and got the penalty. Obviously it's not gone our way with Brennan, and then we've had to force the game really by making loads of changes, and the game lost a load of shape. And but we'll always look at ourselves first. In first half, I don't think we did well enough for the ball.
Wolves get the win at a minus 137. Fulham and Bournemouth, a 2-2 thriller. That was a plus 259. Tottenham and Everton was the other match on your Saturday. Spurs getting the win 2-0 at a minus 208. 5 matches on your Sunday. Southampton and West Ham, it was a 1-1 draw. Manchester United and Newcastle, goalless draw at a plus 270. Leeds loses to Arsenal by the score of 1-0 at a minus 156 at Ellen Road. Chelsea, a 2-0 win over Aston Villa by the score. That was 2-0 win by Chelsea at a minus 101. Conor Gallagher was asked by our friends at Sky Sports Premier League about what it's like playing for Graham Potter.
Graham Potter enters following Thomas Tuchel, a man with a reputation for developing younger players. Mm-hmm. Were you thinking jackpot at that point?
Yeah, of course. I think everyone was excited for the gaffer to come in. The jobs he had before Chelsea, you could see he was, a brilliant manager, and I think it was great for himself and for Chelsea as well. So all the players are very excited, and we've got off to a good start. So hopefully we can, continue this.
Tell us what it's like being on the receiving end of his methods, because one thing we have seen in these first sort of 4 or 5 weeks, he likes to change the shape, the formation, the personnel. Us as the media, the fans, have been quite difficult to keep up, but you're in this. You're one of these players that's sort of being chopped and changed at times. So what's that like?
Well, to be honest, from the first day, the training was so competitive, and he made you feel like everyone had a chance to play, and everyone was kind of training really hard to obviously try and impress the new manager, like you do when a new manager comes in. So yeah, I think it's healthy competition. Like if players are on the bench, they understand and they're always ready to come on. I feel like in his first few games as a manager, the players that have been on the bench and come on have been just as important as the players that have started games. So he's very good. He's very good at speaking to players and dealing with players.
Then on the flip side of that equation, Aston Villa losing once again at Villa Park. Here's Steven Gerrard after the loss to Chelsea, courtesy of Aston Villa and the Premier League.
Credit where it's due, the keeper was outstanding, and I thought our performance for 60 minutes was just alongside that. I thought we were outstanding. Everything we asked for, game plan wise, chance creation, be exciting. We've done everything but put the ball in the back of the net, but at this level you've got to execute. We know that, and that's the reason why we come out with no points today.
You're out the blocks, weren't you? Right from the word go, the game plan was there. To then get stung that early on in that fashion as well, just how disappointed were you?
Yeah, listen, it's an individual error. We know that. I think it's clear to see. But Tyrone's been outstanding for us. I thought his reaction from the mistake was superb, and it was a bitter blow because we, just before that, we were the best team. We were in the ascendancy, creating chances. So that was a setback. But our reaction from there was top draw. The first 45-minute performance outside the mistake's probably the best we've had. But we've got to reward ourselves for all the good play. We should come out of the half with at least 2 or 3 goals. And then, we again start the second half on the front foot, so we've got a foothold in the second half. We're creating, maybe not as clear cut as the first half. And then obviously we give a free kick away. And I'm not sure whether it's a moment of magic from Mason Mount or whether that's on us, but I'll have to see it again.
Liverpool and Manchester City could really be a show in and of itself. Liverpool won on a most solid goal after a goal by Phil Foden was disallowed. It was by far one of the great matches so far of the early part of the season. So Liverpool got the win, closed the gap between them and Manchester City and Arsenal. Manchester City, we'll get into the point differentials right now in just a little bit when it comes to how things stack up with Manchester City, Arsenal, and the Premier League. On the midweek, had a couple of games as a part of our weekend midweek, and it was Brighton and Nottingham Forest by the score. It was a 0-0 draw with Brighton and Nottingham Forest. We'll hear from the coaches coming up in just a little bit at a plus 404. Crystal Palace beats Wolves by the score of 2-1 at Selhurst Park. That one was at a minus 110. So let's get into the standings leading into the 5 matches that are on your Wednesday and show you where things stand. Arsenal on top at 27 points, 9 wins and 1 loss in their 10 matches. Manchester City with the loss, first loss of the season, 4 points behind at 23 points, ahead on goal difference above Spurs, who are also at 23 points, and it is plus 23 to plus 12. Chelsea's only played 9 matches. They're at 19 points. They have won 4 in a row. Manchester United is in 5th. They're at 16 points. Right now, they are in the last European spot. Newcastle at 15 points, plus 8 in goal difference. Brighton also at 15 points, plus 3 in goal difference. They have not won in their last 4 games. Liverpool is now 8th in the table at 13 points with the win. They have only played 9 matches, so they've got the match in hand. 10 matches for Brentford. They are in 9th. Crystal Palace is in 10th with 10 matches played at 13 points. Bournemouth is in 11th place. All of that is goal differential dependent at 13 points. Liverpool's at plus 9, Brentford's at plus 1, Crystal Palace minus 1, and Bournemouth is at minus 12. Fulham, 10 matches played. They have 12 points on the season. West Ham has 10 matches and 11 points in 13th. Everton, 2-4-4. They are at 10 points in 10 matches. Leeds has a match in hand. They've lost 2 in a row, and they've lost 3 of 4, and they are at 9 points. They're the lead of the 9-point brigade at a minus 2. Villa is at minus 6. Wolves is at minus 9. Relegation zone currently, Southampton is at 8 points, and Nottingham Forest with their point against Brighton have drawn 2 of 3. They're at 6 points with a goal difference of minus 16. Leicester is last with 5 points in 10 matches, 24 goals allowed. All right, so let's get into the other news before we get into all of the activity in the midweek and the weekend. Speaking of World Cup duty, there have been some injuries. N'Golo Kante is going to be out for a couple of months after surgery. First person we'll catch up with is Antonio Conte as he discusses Richarlison's future.
Tomorrow we have another training session, and we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, but it will be very difficult to have some returning for the game against United. You know the injury about Richarlison. Yeah, and he's doing a scan, an MRI, and then we'll see how many times he needs to recover. But for sure, against the United is not available.
How fearful are you that Richarlison, more for the player, the individual, that he will miss the World Cup? Do you think he will miss the World Cup?
No, absolutely not. No. I can confirm this, that the player is not risking to don't play the World Cup. Absolutely.
Kulusevski, is he back?
Kulusevski is working, and we'll see. And we have to go day by day with him, and medical department are working a lot to try to recover him, but we don't know. We don't know about the game against United.
Next up, Frank Lampard in Everton as he discusses Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
He's got that motivation to make the England World Cup squad. He sees the kind of momentum building and people talking about Ivan Toney at the moment as well. And if he is getting game time with you regularly and he's shown his top form, then that's obviously great for you because of his motivation as well, wanting to get into that England World Cup squad.
Yeah, it's human nature, and I think it's the natural mentality of top-level players. They want to play for their countries, but the rules are, the first thing is you play well for your club to get there. And because of Dominic's injuries, that's probably, put him in this position. My feeling is because I work closely with him, if he would be fit and playing regularly, then he'd be making a great case, of course. So it's step by step for us at the minute. Dominic is an England squad player. He's been in that squad many a time and played. So can we get him fit, get him on the pitch for us first? Great. Hopefully see what he can deliver for us. And then, of course, he gets himself into that question.
Do you feel there's still time for him then?
I don't know.
It's difficult though, isn't it, with it being so tight?
Sure, and it's not my decision, is it? My focus is purely on getting Dominic in the best condition and obviously playing well for us.
Next up, Newcastle, as Eddie Howe discusses the future of Alexander Isak, and it's not very good.
So Alex, we don't think we'll see again before the World Cup. So unfortunately he's had a setback on his thigh. Maxi's had a very, very minor irritation to his hamstring, but it's the third time that's happened. So although it is a very minor injury, because of the reoccurrence, we might have to be careful with his timescales. But we hope to see him before the World Cup break.
On Isak, it's obviously been a stop-start beginning for him. How difficult is that for him, and I suppose for you guys as well, because he looked electric on his debut, of course, at Liverpool, and frustrating for everyone.
Yeah, very frustrating for him as a new player coming to a new league, club. You want to make an instant impact, and he did that in the team in those first few games. I thought he was excellent for us. Looked like he was acclimatising really well. Picked up the injury when he was away with Sweden, and since then been frustrating for him because he felt really, really good. Did a lot of work to get fit, and as always with muscle injuries, they're unpredictable. They're difficult. You can feel great one minute and then succumb the next, and that's what happened to him. It's a real shame because he's desperate to make his mark here, but he's young. He's got a long future ahead of him here, and now we need to protect him and make sure he comes back good.
Now, let's get you set up on what is going to be happening in the midweek on your Wednesday. 5 matches, 4 of them at 2:30 Eastern Time. Bournemouth and Southampton. Juicebox purveyors pretty much have them even on both sides. Your draws are plus 231. Bournemouth and Southampton roughly plus 172 in the composite. Brentford a big underdog as they face Chelsea at the G-Tech. Chelsea is a plus 128. Liverpool hosting West Ham. They are at a minus 222. West Ham is north of plus 600. Newcastle minus 159 as Everton comes to town. Everton's a plus 472. Manchester United is hosting Tottenham. Manchester United's a plus 148. Your draws a plus 256. Spurs are a plus 187. Erik ten Hag was asked about what it's like having a Cristiano Ronaldo on the roster, and obviously the heated reaction that Ronaldo gave upon a substitution last time out.
I think none player is happy when you get off, and especially not Ronaldo. I understand that. If as long as it is, quite normal way. No problem with that. He has to convince me he should stay on and he should score a goal. That is why he's that good.
He scored a hat-trick in this fixture last season, so is that in your thoughts ahead of starting him maybe tomorrow?
I know it, but and of course you also when you make a lineup, several facts you count on, but also other facts you take count on. I think none.
Thursday, Fulham takes on Aston Villa. Villa is a road favorite at a plus 154. Fulham is a plus 188. Leicester and Leeds. Leicester is a favorite at a plus 134, which gets you to the weekend. Saturday, Nottingham Forest hosting Liverpool. Liverpool's a minus 400. Everton hosting Crystal Palace. Everton's a plus 154, and Crystal Palace is a plus 197. Manchester City hosting Brighton at a minus 500. Chelsea is your late game, hosting Manchester United at a minus 105. Your draw and Manchester United are both a plus 276 and a 281. Sunday, 5 matches. Aston Villa leading is a favorite at home against Brentford at Villa Park at a plus 108. Leeds a home favorite against Fulham at Elland Road at a plus 106. Arsenal, big road favorite at a minus 172 at Southampton. Wolves a plus 123. Your draw is a plus 245. Leicester is a plus 229. Spurs is a minus 108. Hosting Newcastle. Newcastle's a plus 276. Newcastle's a plus 287. Monday Night Football on the 24th. West Ham hosting Bournemouth. West Ham is a minus 185. Your draw is a plus 332. Bournemouth is a plus 524. Wrapping up the sound from the week, Jurgen Klopp was asked as they were leading into and preparing for their match against West Ham about previous comments that he had about not being friends with other teams and around the Premier League. Here's his answer.
I'm not sure we have to be best friends with other clubs, to be honest, but I don't think anybody wants to be best friends with us, to be honest. Never heard about that, at least. There's no completely normal competition. But apart from that, again, it started here with the question and answered it, and then all the rest was made of it, and I know what I thought when I said it, and I thought I have put it all in perspective and said how much I respect everything what they are doing, and then obviously it was still not right for some. And after the game, then all the talks go about what I said and what I did and what people make of it. Don't think that should be the case, but obviously I cannot change that. Tell me 2 clubs who are best friends. Find them.
The question I'm asking is, do you think there's enough respect between clubs?
Of course there's respect. How?
Is there enough respect from City to this club?
Again, a question a question I can't even answer because I have no idea. You have to ask that people at City.
City claimed yesterday that what you'd said on Friday was borderline xenophobic. Just wondered what you made of. That's obviously a serious thing to suggest. And also, are you surprised that they still haven't publicly condemned the Hillsborough chanting for the away end on Sunday?
This kind of question I would like not to answer. It's not because there's nothing really to say about, but we responded as a club, I think. So I think that's what we had to do.
I'm just wondering how you feel then, your comments then to be not blamed, but people saying you inflamed tensions around the game because of what you said.
That's life of people who speak in public. So it's not the first time that I get misunderstood. So I know what I thought when I said it. If somebody misunderstands that or wants to misunderstand, I cannot change that.
And before we go, let's wrap up the sound from Brighton and Nottingham Forest. Goalless draw. Once again, we have both managers. First, it's Steve Cooper on the point that they picked up at Brighton, and De Zerbi apologizing for only getting 1 point as they hosted Nottingham Forest.
It was always going to be a tough game tonight. Brighton are a really good team. We're in their stadium. They've had I know they've obviously changed the manager, but they've still continued to play in a really good way and got good players, and can see why they've got the points that they have already. So it was always going to be tough. Plus the fact that we've been on a poor run, and could have been even more deflated after the weekend at Wolves when a few things didn't go away second half, and we could have drawn the game at least. So that could be a real kick in the teeth for the boys, and it was. But for them to show the resilience and the spirit and the desire that they did tonight, like you said, it's ended up being a good point. And I think if we'd had a few more points on the board and we were a bit higher up the league, it would be a great point because if it's a tough game. But we're striving for that win, you know. I thought the process of the game was a challenge of the boys after Wolves with our usage of the ball. I didn't like us one bit first half against Wolves. Completely came away from what I want us to be as an in-possession team. And, we had to review that thoroughly on Sunday with them. So we showed a better commitment to that first half, for sure. And didn't quite get, territory up the pitch and as we would have liked. But you could see that there was an improvement and desire to do that. And second half, obviously, we had to see her out, But we have to look at the positives, and there were a few today, for sure.
I'm sorry for the result, but I enjoy it, and I say the same words to the player. I say thank you to the player because they played a fantastic game. Okay, we have to improve the last 25 meters, and I want to work, and we have to work. But after I can say anything more. The same, very close to the Brentford game. The only difference is the result. But in terms of the quality of play, in terms of a chance to score, to command the game, there were two similar games.
Once again, thanks to all the teams in the Premier League and thanks to Sky Sports as well for their sound as well in the interview segments outside of the coaching segments. So that is your look at everything going on inside the Premier League. That's another round of Prem and Proper. Enjoy your midweek matches. Enjoy your weekend matches, and we'll be back at it once again this time next week. So for everybody here at Soccer Down Here, I'm just John and SDH Networks. Play safe, everybody. Enjoy your games in the Premier League. That's another round of Prem and Proper.